we were gathering Christians from across a litany of churches in the Pacific Northwest for an outdoor worship gathering on an afternoon, Saturday afternoon. And it involved face painting for the kids and free haircuts and grocery giveaways and free bikes and things of that nature, just to help out the community. And that was immediately followed by some worship songs and the sharing of some testimonies, people telling the story of what God has done in their life, how he's helped them come out of all sorts of problems, addiction, prison, you name it. And as soon as really the music started playing, we were swarmed by hundreds of violent Antifa agitators whose sole purpose was disrupting the event, causing as much chaos and carnage as they could. It involved 23 of them getting arrested, police officers being hospitalized. They threw water balloons filled with urine at our church members who had gathered on the lawn to worship God in a permitted and planned event that had been on the schedule for months. And the police did best they could, but frankly, they were overwhelmed, and they have been consistently undermined by the leftist political leadership in the city of Seattle. And it just turned into an all-out chaos.
My goodness. I mean, Shelly, what did you think about that? You read about it on the news and saw the videos. This is crazy.
Yeah. First of all, it's wrong, it's illegal, it's immoral to attack anyone, whether you're for or against. Everyone, again, this ultimately goes back to the First Amendment, free speech, okay? I don't have to agree with you, but I don't have the right to just go and attack you and tear up your event. I'm not a part of it. What I don't understand is why people, if you don't support something or someone, why can't you leave people alone? Sure, protest on whatever side of the street, but why the hell can't you leave them alone? Just stay out of their business, out of their lives, right? They're not doing anything illegal. That's number one. Number two, the group was issued a permit regardless of what the park was named or who it was named for. It's a public space. My tax dollars can go for it, even if it was named for somebody that I don't support or may not agree with their lifestyle. But everyone has a right to legally occupy, if you will, the space for the permit and the time that they have paid for and that has been allotted to them. That's just a part of what we call the social contract. Again, it's wrong. These Antifa, this is not new. Now they are targeting certain religions or certain groups, but they have always been about targeting Antifa. They claim to be anti-fascist, but that's exactly what they are. They are fascists. They are literally out to destroy. This is not new. We should not be surprised, and we certainly shouldn't be surprised that the prosecutors in Seattle are seemingly going soft on them, at least right now.
Yeah. I want to get your thoughts on this, Nicole. This next clip. This is a clip of a mother with her children trying to get to the Christian event. This, folks, is stunning. Take a look here. This is clip 3.
Get the kid out of here! Get the child out of here! You gotta get
Demons. That was pure demonic. Nicole, what are your thoughts on what we just saw?
All that Christian songs and praying irritated their demons for sure. Mm-hmm. And they were showing out. But what I saw from a political perspective is government not doing what they've paid them to do. These police were standing there watching the interactions instead of shutting that stuff down. From what I understand, that this particular group asked for 2 other parks before the mayor suggested this particular park. It seems like to me it was a setup of the highest order. But, you know, as a Christian person, sometimes you run out of cheeks to turn, right? Mm-hmm. You give them a left one, you give them a right one, and then you're going to have to start showing them booty cheeks. It is time to stop being wimpy. It is time to stop crying. It is time to stand on your 2 feet. And it's time to stop voting for these same dumbasses over and over again. You see what that is? That is the direct result of Republicans staying home during municipal elections. It is a direct result of you being too busy to cast your ballot for people who hold your values. That is a direct result of you being too damn lazy to do your civic duty. I feel sorry for them, but not sorry enough to let them off the hook. Show up and vote for your local elected people. They have more impact on your life than federal people.
Yeah.
The president has a very small impact on your life, but everybody and their mother's out here voting. The person who controls your life controls the life of your children, your education, traffic, schools, roads, are your local officials. People don't go to vote for that. So Democrats run a damn muck. We have got to stop doing that. Christian people have to vote on Christian values. And if you don't, Seattle is the tragic tale of what you've got coming for you.
Yeah.
Well, Dan Bongino of President Trump's FBI announced yesterday that the agency has opened an investigation into allegations of targeted violence against religious groups at this Seattle concert. So the group that was there, it's called Mayday USA, is a Christian group. Again, as the pastor mentioned, had a permit and had put in that permit months prior to this. But what does this say about the rising tide of Christian persecution in blue cities? Are they finally admitting Christians are under siege? Because they surely are. I mean, if somebody had showed me this video, I wouldn't have believed this happened in America.
I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. And Christians, like Jews, other groups have been targeted for various reasons at various times, right? That's one thing. When I saw this clip again tonight, I remember when we were out there protesting the what did you call it? The transgenders or
drag queen story hour.
Yeah, the drag queen story hour, whatever they call themselves. When we were protesting, there were clear demarcations of where we could go, pretty much. Like, you couldn't go here. You couldn't stop people from going into the library to take their children. And I don't think any of us attempted to do that, right? But even if we were trying to talk to the parents, saying, you might not want to, whatever the case, we had to stay back a certain amount of footage or space. I don't understand why this wasn't set up the same way. There are other protests we've gone to, and there were, again, lines that, you have to stay on this side or vice versa, depending on what side of the issue you may be on. Why? I don't understand why that wasn't already demarcated for this particular event.
Because it was Christians. This is why. They don't care about if we're protesting a drag queen story hour, they're going to protect these drag queens. Okay. But because this was a Christian event, they don't give a damn about these people. And the mayor pretty much said that in his response. The mayor came out and said in a statement released afterward, his name, Bruce Harrell, he condemned the concert, not the violence from Antifa militants, suggesting that the Christian group's presence was deliberately provocative. He says here, and I quote, anarchists who infiltrated the counter protests and called for an after action report by the police. He says today's far right rally was held here for this very reason, to provoke a reaction by promoting beliefs that are inherently opposed to our city's values in the heart of Seattle's most prominent LGBTQ plus neighborhood. He says when the humanity of trans people and those who have been historically marginalized is questioned, we triumph by demonstrating our values, which is, I guess, throwing urine at Christians through our words and peaceful protests. Yeah, right. We lose our voice when this is disrupted by violence, chaos, and confusion, Harrell went on.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
In other words, Christians don't have a right to the public spaces. That's basically what they don't have a right. And if they do, then they are, they shouldn't be surprised to get not just pushback, not just counter protests, but they shouldn't be surprised when they get attacked. It's basically their fault. And you're right, Nicole, the police, at least from that clip, that video right there, they should have escorted that woman and that baby to whatever side, I don't know which way the direction was, where she wanted to go with her baby. They should have escorted her out there safely. This should not have happened. In America in 2025, no protest, legitimate protest, I'm saying legitimate, for or against whatever the issues are, no protest should devolve into something like this, where someone is being surrounded, virtually ready to be attacked. My guess is if she didn't have that baby, those vultures probably would have physically attacked her. That's
she
my
had
guess.
A baby and a toddler. She had a baby and a toddler. But folks, I think it's definitely that. But it's deeper. This stems from the BLM riot immunity that happened in 2020. When BLM and Antifa tore apart American cities in 2020, the left applauded them and prosecutors let them walk free. No consequences, gave them it equals a green light for more violence, especially against those who don't bow to their ideology. And
Agreed.
Just the fact that we as Christians believe counter to what the culture, to what their demonic leftist sayings are saying, they think that's aggression just because our Bible tells us this way.
Absolutely. I repeat, President Obama, we are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America. Under Obama's administration, he started, at least more obviously so, going after Christians. I have to say, at least with the back and forth between Christians, or the moral majority, as it was called, particularly under President Clinton, there wasn't this viciousness or this ferocity with going after Christians. Was there debate? Were there disagreements? Were there protests? Absolutely. But under Obama, it is my never to be humble opinion, is when this ferocious focus, if you will, on those who are Christian and maybe Jews to a degree, if you will, anyone who is standing up for Christian or religious values, American values, certainly, they are deemed far right. President Biden went after the Catholics. I think it was in Virginia when they were standing up against having children transitioned and having boys pretending to be women, or their parents call them that or whatever, in the bathrooms and playing in sports. So this is nothing new. This has only gotten worse. Biden sicked the FBI, sent out letters, or the DOJ on parents only trying to protect their children.
Well, it's a thing that this lawlessness is going to continue to happen until we show them that lawlessness cannot. Talking to them doesn't work. When we have sitting members of Congress throwing her belly on the backs of ICE out in front of one of a federal detention center where she's not permitted without permission, and nothing happens except for some very strong language, it sends a signal that we're not going to do anything. We are headed toward yet another summer of love, as they call it, unless we stand up. But what I am going to say definitively, turning the other cheek, very Christian. And I know that we're supposed to suffer for Christ, but my hands would hurt. It would not be because they hurt me. I'd be in there throwing blows. They would not be able to corner me and my child, especially a newborn that I'm holding. These police officers, their rules of engagement came from the mayor. The rules are don't put your hands on the Antifa people. They had a gate up. They should have stayed behind the gate. The first person who came across that gate would have felt all 50,000 volts of my taser in that ass. I'm telling you, until we get serious with these people and show them that we're not going to allow this kind of behavior, it's going to continue. And all the talk in the world is not going to solve it.
Without getting into it. Go ahead, Paige. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. And again, I got to go back to the 2020 riots. The culture was conditioned to hate Christians and conservatives.
Agreed.
They were about dismantling the oppressive Western values, which includes Christianity, traditional values, traditional family, and the rule of law. That spirit is still alive and well today in Antifa and the rest of them. They are, and that's why they are attacking Christian families. And folks, just like you said, Nicole, we will not be moved. And this is why we didn't show this, but I loved when I talked about this on Christian Conservative on Thursday. We showed the video. Those saints, those Bible believers, those Holy Spirit filled people kept pushing. They were singing, they were dancing, they were jumping. They continued to go on. And that's exactly what we should do. Don't let them shut us down. We need to hold these types of rallies, reading the Bible, singing the glory of God in cities all over the country, and let them know we will not be moved.